The renewable energy pet project of a pair of Australia's two wealthiest men, the Sun Cable project. It all sounded like the stuff of some sort of renewable energy sci-fi dream. A $30 billion, 12,000 hectare solar farm in the Northern Territory, which was to produce so much electricity it could power Singapore, literally, via 4,000 kilometres of undersea cable. And unsurprisingly, last week the project went into voluntary administration, allegedly over a spat between the two billionaires. To explain it all is the brilliant environment editor at the Australian newspaper, Lloyd. And Graham, thanks so much for joining us. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us about this project. Was it ever feasible in the first place?
Well, I think that's something we're going to find out over the course of the voluntary administration. But it's one of those things, if you could power the world on the self-belief of billionaires, then we probably wouldn't have a problem. But it comes down to costs and engineering, which can be a different thing completely. What happened here is there was this grand idea to have a big solar array in the Northern Territory and send the electricity to Singapore via an undersea cable of about 4,000 kilometres in length. Big, ambitious thing. Similar projects to send power from Africa to Europe have failed in the past. And we're getting down to the point where they need to raise the money. And Mike Cannon-Brookes and Andrew Forrest have fallen out over how to go forward, so the whole thing's ended in a heap.
Well, I mean, it still looks like that Mike Cannon-Brookes and Andrew Forrest want to keep that Sun Cable dream alive, but both looking to revive the project and probably alter it. I mean, what do we really know about that?
Well, both say that they think, look, they want to go ahead with it, but it looks like they've both got different ideas. Mike Cannon-Brookes still wants to go with an undersea cable and send the power offshore. Andrew Forrest seems to think that that doesn't make any sense, and what he should do is turn the solar electricity into ammonia or hydrogen or something else and export it that way. Both schemes are still highly speculative. And voluntary administration can be a wicked thing, and it remains to be seen whether anything can be salvaged from it.
You know, I'm intrigued by this 4,000 kilometre cable. It's 5 times longer than the longest submarine cable anywhere in the world. Without the cable, this project doesn't seem to be all that possible. I got told about this time last year that there was a genuine doubt about the availability of all the cable that everyone wants to use in the world. I mean, seriously, 4,000 kilometres of cable? Really?
This is an enormous undertaking, and this is going to be laid on the ocean floor in areas that are prone to earthquakes. There are very, very deep canyons. There's the risk of running through other countries' territories. So it's just almost inconceivable, and that's before you get to the issue of where's all the copper going to come from to build the cable itself.
Exactly.
This is the one thing. It's such a big project that I think a lot of people are scratching their heads and saying, how do you possibly cost it, and how do you account for the risk?
So, Graham, we've learned today Labor's gas price cap doesn't include the retail arm of gas, with many struggling to find a provider under the cap. Are you surprised at all?
Well, not really surprised. And what we've seen is, a flurry of activity immediately before the Christmas break, and everybody's sort of gone on holidays. And this is really a sign that we've come back to work, because, well, how does this thing operate? I think the companies have heard, well, there's going to be a cap on how they can sell the electricity, and there's going to be huge penalties if they do the wrong thing. And they're probably wondering, well, exactly what do they have to do? The market's pretty volatile, and the best course of action for them, they seem, is that they'll just exit the market and get a bit of clarity on the whole thing. But at the end of the day, market intervention generally increases costs and increases uncertainty. It's under really a lot of pressure to give Yeah, to give some comfort into what its picture is going forward to maintain a vital industry here.
Yeah, on one hand, they say prices are going to come lower. On the other hand, it's only going to be with a subsidy. Interfering with the market always ends in tears. Graham, it's fascinating to discuss all of this with you. So thank you so very much for joining us on Credlin tonight.